All right, guys, we are back with the Holiday Buggy build. And I know I said in the last video, I was not going to put bearings in this thing. I was just going to use the supplied bushings because I feel that in a stock build, there's nothing wrong with those. But I was at the hobby shop today and to actually get some good marine grease to put in some of these cars. And the Fast Eddie bearings were actually on sale, and so he put 2 packages into one and sold it for $10.99. You can't beat that, and I'll have a few extra bearings laying around to boot. So anyway, we are going to start by building the gearbox, and so we're gonna have to take the ring gear here and build the spiders, put that all in there, grease everything all up, and screw it all together, and then start putting everything in the case, get the bearings in there and whatever else. So that's what we're doing. I will bring you back shortly. All right, so we got our ring gear and we've got the one bevel gear in there. Got my spider assembly here, and I'm just gonna throw a little bit of this Horizon Hobby marine grease down inside of here, a little bit more. Stuff's stupid thick, but it works really well. Hard to do this on camera. I'm gonna bring you back. All right, we've got grease all packed in there. Got the 2 bevel gears up against the spiders, and I will install the outer piece there. But this is a good time to talk about our sponsor, Tubbo Towel. Because this marine grease is thick and blue and very messy. So using Tubbo towels works to clean that stuff right off your knife, whatever. It's hard to do this one-handed in film, but you get the point. So anyway, that cleans that off your bench, off your tools, whatever else. So, and again, like I said, I told you I wasn't going to use bearings, but he sold me 2 packages for $10.99, so you can't beat that. And then we won't have to worry about it if we do upgrade the motor. So, all right, so that stuff is done. Now we will move on to putting the bearings into this casing right here, and start getting the gears and the shaft in there. All right, these 2 gears are in the case. Next step will be putting the other case half on and screwing it in. All right, step 5, 6, and 7 are done. And if you give a listen, you can hear all that grease in there. I probably over-greased it. But, you know, it happens. I've still got to tighten my screws a little bit, looks like, but rather have too much grease in there than not enough. All right, so this next step, we have to put the motor mount onto the motor, and then we will attach it to the gearbox. But before we can actually screw the motor mount to the motor, we have to put the nuts in there for retaining the motor mount to the gear case. So, a little tip here, what I've done is put a little dab of grease down inside of these, and that will hold the nut in place when you get it stuck in there, and then it's not going to move. So, hard to get that in there. Got it a little bit off. And did it for a second time. But anyway, that grease, as you can see, holds those in there. So I'll get that straightened out, and I'm going to screw it to the motor, and I'll bring you back. I also wanted to include that since we don't want these to back out, I did put a little drop of blue Loctite on those two screws, which are the silver ones that hold the gear case to the motor mount. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on these two screws, which are the ones that hold it into the motor. Just a tiny little bit, and I'm just putting it on the end of my knife and wicking it onto the threads. All right, so we've got the motor in, but I just noticed that I forgot a step, because you got to put this little piece on the bottom side of the motor like so, using the double face tape, and then put it in the hole. So I've got to pull the stinking thing back out. Live and learn, right? I had the piece sitting right there. I already peeled the double face tape and everything. I just didn't even think about it and got ahead of myself. So then the last thing to do will be put this gear case cover over. It will go over here. As you can see, I've got well greased pinion and spur gear, and so that's going to be the last step after I take this motor back out and remount it, because I've forgot a step. All right, and there we go. One completed gearbox all together. Next we'll be mounting the A-arms. Getting closer. Lower arms on and inner drive cups in. So next will be the upper arms and the drive shaft and the knuckles. Bearings are in the knuckles. Drive cups are in those bearings, and man, do these things spin nice. I'm glad I went ahead and did this. And so now I'll get the drive shafts and get everything mounted here and bring you back. All right, gearbox and rear suspension complete, save for shocks, and that'll be in the next video. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Thad with Iowa Budget RC. You guys have a great day, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.